My goal for this trip was to experience Ireland in a very specific way, not just to look at it, but to truly feel it. This road trip was my blueprint for diving deep into its landscapes, its culture, and every sensory detail it had to offer.
I'm in Ireland, and honestly, I don't know what I will find. I just want to feel how it smells, sounds, breathes, just the way it is.
And what unfolded? Pure magic. From the wild coasts where the ocean hits hard, to ancient, quiet places full of old stories. Every turn brought something new, a fresh surprise. This wasn't just following a map, it was about taking it all in. Feeling the cool mist, tasting good food, hearing laughter. These are the deep feelings that connect you to a place forever. So if you are ready for an immersive journey that goes beyond the surface, come along. We are about to uncover the living, breathing essence of Ireland, one acceleration mile at a time.
Okay, what do we got here? The Toyota Yaris. Small baby. Oh my god, steering wheel on the other side. Hey, what's up everybody? Oh guys, you can't even imagine where I just come right now. This place I dreamed to come a long time ago, and now finally I'm here. So here I am, finally in Northern Ireland. This place is called the Dark Hedges. I wanted to come here for a long time, ever since I saw the Game of Thrones.
200 years ago it was just a driveway, planted by a family to impress guests arriving at their estate.
If you watched Game of Thrones, you probably have seen this place before. This is the King's Road, the very path Arya Stark took when she escaped the King's Landing.
The trees twisted together, their branches tangled above the road like a tunnel through time. In photos it looks magical, but in real life it's even more surreal, and it's slowly fading. A few storms, a few fallen trees, and one day it could all be gone. So I came to see it just the way it is, before it's only a memory. There are about 4 million people in Ireland and nearly twice as many sheep. You'll see them everywhere, on the hills, on the road, sometimes just blocking traffic like they don't care. And the cows, way too chill. They will stare at you like they know something you don't. Feels like the animals around this place we are just visiting. Northern Ireland has a surprising number of Game of Thrones filming locations. Castles, cliffs, caves, all scattered along the coast. But since I didn't have much time, I had to choose just one. So I went to Ballintoy Harbour, better known to fans as the Iron Islands. This is where Theon Greyjoy returned home in the show. I got there right around sunset, and the place looked unreal. The rocks, the waves, the light, it all felt like a scene from something bigger. I stayed longer than I planned, just watching the color change. No regrets, it was the right place to be. Ireland, a small island with a massive story. People have lived here for over 10,000 years. The ancient Celts brought their language, their gods, and their mysterious stone monuments, many still standing today. Even older than the pyramids, Newgrange is a prehistoric tomb that lights up perfectly on the winter solstice. Built with more precision than modern engineers can fully explain. Later came the Vikings, then the Normans, and for hundreds of years Ireland lived under British rule, a time marked by struggle, resistance, and the cultural survival. In 1845 the Great Famine began. Over 1 million people died. Another million left. Many of them never returned. Even today, more people of Irish descent live abroad than in Ireland itself. But in 1922, the Irish Free State was born. And despite everything, the Irish spirit remained poetic, proud, and a little rebellious. Today, Ireland is known for more than its past. It's one of the world's most literate countries, home to writers like James Joyce, Oscar Wilde, and Samuel Beckett. It also where Halloween actually began, rooted in the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. And then there's the landscape, dramatic cliffs, green fields, ancient castles, and cozy villages where times move just a bit slower. The west coast is part of the Wild Atlantic Way, one of the longest coastal driving routes on Earth. And if you are lucky enough to hear traditional Irish music played live, in a pub, on a street corner, or around a kitchen table, you'll feel something that's hard to describe. A kind of magic that never really left this island. This is Conor Pass, a narrow path along the edge of Dingle Peninsula. It was once part of ancient pilgrimage route, leading to Mount Brendan, Ireland's second highest peak. Locals say monks walked this trail for solitude and clarity. Today it's one of the last places where you can still walk between land, sky and sea, just like they did centuries ago. No railings, no signs, just Ireland, unfiltered. After Conor Pass I headed to Dunquin Pier. It's located on the northern end of a small secluded bay, surrounded by craggy cliffs. The walkway down is narrow and winding, the kind you will see on Irish souvenir postcards. From the pier, seasonal ferries run to the Blesket Islands, where you can still walk among the ruins of old stone cottages, and, if the sea allows, spot dolphins or whales breaking the surface. If you are driving, there is a small gravel area for parking, and plenty of space along the roadside near the harbor. Just by the road there is a small coffee wagon, with a sign claiming that they have the most delicious brownie in the world. The coffee wasn't great, but the brownie was good. After that spot I decided it was time to eat. On the way I passed through open fields, rolling hills and of course sheep. They are everywhere. I picked one of the better local pubs to try some traditional Irish food, something I always do when I travel. The best way is to skip the tourist places and find where locals actually eat. I ordered traditional Irish beef stew. It was incredible, rich, hearty, simple. For a moment I felt like I was tasting a bit of the past, like how people might have eaten here for a couple hundred years ago, before all the modern comforts. Just real food, made to warm you up. I found this beach completely by accident, just turned off a narrow road and ended up here. A massive stretch of white sand, backed by mountains, with Atlantic stretching out in front of me. And not a single person inside, just me, my car, and this wide open beach. It felt unreal, silent, untouched, like it had been waiting there forever. No signs, no noise, nothing built up, just pure space. I didn't even plan to stop, but I stayed for a long time. Sometimes the best places are ones you've never meant to find. Lismore Castle stands above river Blackwater like something out of a dream. Towers, battlements, ivy-covered walls. But this place isn't just beautiful, it's layered with history. It was originally built in 1185 by Prince John of England, before he became king. A Norman fortress meant to secure English control over this part of Ireland. But over centuries it changed hands many times. In the 17th century it was owned by a family of Robert Boyle. Later it was bought by the Dukes of Devonshire, who turned it into a more romantic, Gothic-style residence. And it's still privately owned by that family today. You can't visit inside unless there is an exhibition on, but the gardens are open to public and they're incredible. Terraced lawns, old stone walls, river views. There are over 30,000 castle ruins across the country, some grand and preserved, others just most covered towers in the field. Lismore is one of the few that still feels alive, not a ruin, not a museum, just quietly watching, as it has for over 800 years. When I got there, the weather was miserable. Cold wind, rain coming in sideways, but I couldn't live without these shots. So I flew the drone in the rain, carefully, and somehow it made it back. No crash, no water damage, just enough time to capture this place the way it deserved to be seen. Driving through the middle of Ireland, you start to feel the weight of its history. Not in museums, but in the landscape. And then you see it, rising out of the green fields like something from another world. The Rock of Cashel. This place was once the seat of kings, long before it became a religious site. Later, the church took over and built what still stands today. A round tower, a crumbling cathedral, and walls that have seen 1,000 storms. Up there, wind cuts through everything. The stone feels cold and ancient, and when you look out over the Golden Whale, it's not hard to picture what this place meant. Power, faith, time passing. Ireland keeps its history out in the open. You don't go looking for it, it finds you. After days of driving through ruins and wild landscapes, I ended up somewhere unexpected, Killeen Castle. It's not ancient stone and crumbling towers like the others. This one is polished, restored, lit up at night, and somehow still full of history. The first castle here was built in 12th century by Hugh de Lacy, one of the powerful Norman lords sent to claim Ireland. Over times, it became the seat of the Earls of Fingal, and the estate stayed in the family for nearly 800 years. Like the most castles in Ireland, it's seen sieges, fires and rebuilds. What stands now is mostly from the 18th century, restored in the 2000s after being left empty for decades. Today it's part of a golf resort. A strange mix: historic walls, quiet forests, manicured lawns. But it works. I stayed the night here, not in some cold stone room, but in warm, quiet space looking out at the grounds. It was one of those moments where the past and present felt close together. After dark, I walked outside. The lights from the castle glowed against the trees, and everything was silent. No tour groups, no signs, no plaques, just me and this huge place built centuries ago, still standing, still holding its ground. Ireland isn't just ruins and postcards. Sometimes it's places like this, alive and still telling the same story, like it did, just in a different way.
Imagine standing in the edge of Europe again. Today I'm on the northwest part of Ireland. This place calls Slieve or Sliabh Liag in Irish. I don't even know how to spell it.
Slieve is not on the most tourist routes in Ireland. It's all the way up in County Donegal, tucked into one of the most remote corners of the country. But it's home to some of the highest sea cliffs in Europe, almost 3 times taller than the cliffs of Moher.
The land drops to the Atlantic Ocean around 2,000 feet.
That's about 600 meters straight down to the Atlantic, but the height doesn't hit you right away. When you first arrive, it just looked like a regular hilltop. There is a gravel path, some low stone walls, and a small wooden wagon selling coffee and handmade souvenirs.
It's already mid-April, but it's so cold here and so windy. But the sheep, they doesn't care. They eating the grass in the edge of the cliff and they feel okay. But I'm so cold.
There were not many people around when I went. A few hikers, that's it. Mostly it was just me, the wind and the sheep. So many sheep, wandering across the path, standing on the cliff edges like it's no big deal. Some had these colored paint spots on the back, blue or red, probably to tell farmers who is who. I kept thinking, how do they not fall? But they just keep walking like they have been doing it forever. Historically, this place has seen its share of quiet visitors. In early Christian times, monks would come here to live in isolation, to pray in silence, surrounded by the sea. There are still ruins nearby, old beehive huts and stone walls buried in the grass. It makes sense. If you wanted to disappear into nature, this would be the place.
get here, you need to leave your car on the car parking area down below the hill, and it costs approximately 10 euro for a couple hours, and then walk on this road to this cliff. It takes approximately 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, but it's worth it. Or if you don't like to walk, you can buy the trip with the small shuttle buses. They are running here like every 20 minutes. I'm not sure about the price, but you can check it.
The bad news is I lost my FPV drone. I was filming the beautiful cliffs and the ocean, and I was sitting on the top of the cliff, but I was flying below and filming like ocean waves and birds and some rocks. Beautiful. It was a very beautiful place, but the battery in the drone was low, like 7%, maybe something like this, and I was trying to return home to climb the cliff, but because of the battery was low, drone didn't want to go up, so it hit the cliff and fell to the ocean, and now it's somewhere filming the ocean floor permanently. That's it.
I'm on the west side of the island, so happy to be here. I remember one day I just saw the Instagram and I found this place, these cliffs. It was super beautiful picture, and I saved, I found it where it's located, and saved on my Google Maps and my bucket list page all places I want to visit. I've been dreaming about this place for a long time, and now I'm finally here, in the cliffs of Moher. This was the most desirable place in the whole island that I wanted to visit one day, and this day is now. I'm finally here, so what can I tell? The dreams come true. Just dream about something and do something to this dream come true to you, not just sit and wait. And if you're dreaming about something, so the dream one day come true, and it will be your reality.